What's up guys, this is Seville, here with another Marvel Legends action figure review. Today, I'm going to be doing the Power and Glory Captain America, as well as the binary form Captain Marvel. Each of these are both Walmart exclusive figures. If you can give me just a few more seconds, I'll have both of these figures out of their packages so we can get closer looks at each of them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment below. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Both of these figures have actually been pretty hard to find, even with 3 Walmarts in my area. Captain America, I've only seen once, which is the one I have, and Captain Marvel, I had to order online. Once the rotations are done on the spinner, we'll go ahead and take a closer look at each of them and compare them to most recent counterparts. So let's start with Captain America. He is indeed worthy of the Power and Glory title. One might assume that he's just a re-release with Thor's hammer and the battle-damaged shield, but that is simply not the case. The figure itself has many new sculpted parts, including the scaling around the star and on the shoulder pads. Along with that, there's also a brand new Chris Evans head sculpt. And in my opinion, this is the most accurate representation of Chris Evans in Marvel Legends form. The next closest one would be the 10th anniversary edition from the Civil War II pack featuring Crossbones. But it really makes me wonder what happened with the Infinity War version. Like, if they could take the sculpts and the technology they're using now and give us the bearded version, that would be awesome. But anyway, let's get on to a comparison with the Civil War version. While the sculpts are quite similar, the Civil War version simply didn't quite have the same amount of detail as the new Power and Glory version. The added sculpt lines and detail make it just a little bit more intricate, improving the accuracy as it goes along. When it comes to the mastheads though, there's not quite as much of a difference on them. In fact, to me, the only thing that really stands apart between them is the paint and color details. Honestly, if not for the lighter color on the chin strap, I wouldn't really be able to tell them apart. When it comes to the shields, the only real difference is the battle damage coloration. This has led to some complaints about the accuracy, because technically in this scene, the shield was broken. As I mentioned earlier, the rest of the body does have some minor detail differences, such as the designs of the straps on his back, the new scaled shoulder pads, as well as other details in his arms, as well as other slight redesigns in his torso for the striped flag area, which in the end does lead to enough differences to be a fairly new sculpt and not just a re-release. So with that said, let's move on to the binary form of Captain Marvel. While this figure does look really cool, it doesn't have enough differences between this one and the original to be a totally new figure. In my opinion, it could have easily just been accessories added to her previous figure to change her forms. The main differences here are her arms being translucent now, as well as having accessories to go over them, and of course the new head sculpt with the flaming hair. Everything else from the neck down is exactly the same as the previous figure in the main wave. I kinda wish they would have added some sort of glowing paint effect to make her stand out more from the previous figure. One thing that really does bug me though, is the color of her neck. On the original figure, as you can see now, it's blue to match the rest of her costume. But on the binary version, it's bare-skinned, making it to where the helmet doesn't really connect to the whole suit. Because of my OCD with that sort of thing, I'd probably leave her binary form unmasked all the time. Back to the comparison at hand, with them now side by side, you can really see that there's not really any differences between the two figures other than what I've already mentioned. Even on the arms, without the extra accessories on top, it's still basically the same sculpt other than them being translucent. It is those accessories that make the difference for the overall appearance. Just for the record, by my knowledge, the fireballs that go over her fist are new pieces, but the little whirly bits that go over her forearms are reused and recolored pieces from Scarlet Witch. So with all that said, it's time to run binary Captain Marvel and Power and Glory Captain America through my guidelines for a complete and fair review. Captain America boasts enough new pieces to be a fairly new sculpt, but Captain Marvel does not. However, both figures are still highly detailed and incredibly accurate. I skipped the articulation portion of this video because that didn't really change on either of the figures, but just know that Captain America does have more than 20 points of articulation, but Captain Marvel does not. They are both in scale with the Marvel Legends line, and both balance very well. Each figure did include a few accessories, and neither had any real quality control issues. The roughly $20 price point is fair for the Marvel Legends line, if you can find them at retail price, leading the binary form of Captain Marvel to a 6 out of 10 star rating, meaning she's still pretty awesome and worth owning for casual fans, and leading the power and glory of Captain America to a 9 out of 10 star rating, meaning it is outstanding and one of the best figures of the year. Meaning Captain Marvel is a good figure if you just happen to come across her, but Captain America is definitely worth your time in the hunt. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video,
get over here!
And subscribe to Civilian Collectibles.